Why do we buy accurate rifles and then replace the barrels? This week on Mail Call Mondays. Mail Call Mondays is brought to you by MDT. If you need a chassis system for your precision rifle, check out mdttac.com. I'm John McQuay with 8541 Tactical, and this is Mail Call Mondays, the show that answers your questions about precision rifles, optics, and equipment. Welcome to another Mail Call Mondays, and this Monday our question comes from Mac, and Mac asks, why do some of us buy so-called great and accurate rifles and then replace the barrels for an aftermarket or then called better barrel? Well, Mac, I've got a couple of different views on this, but first we'll address the simple matter, and the simple answer is because we can. Thankfully, we've gotten to a point where the machining and the tolerances that the factories are putting into these rifles are held to a tight enough degree that aftermarket barrel manufacturers can spin up barrels that are pre-fit for a specific model and that a home shooter can install in their own garage with very simple hand tools and some small gauges like chamber gauges or headspace gauges. So we can take a rifle off the shelf, bring it home, and then customize it to make it a little bit more of our own. And that's kind of the nature of things. We do it with cars, we do it with motorcycles. A lot of us like to tinker and we like to customize things so that they feel like they are ours, like they are unique. Now, that really may not matter on paper or not. I'll take, for instance, the rifle that's sitting in front of me. This is the Tikka T1X that we did a review in stock form on. Then we placed it in the Modular Driven Technologies ACC chassis. And now we have a Lothar-Walther barrel on here. Now, we did do quite a bit of shooting with the factory Tikka barrel, which is a little bit lightweight as far as precision barrels go, but it worked very well. We were getting very great accuracy out of that barrel. So what would cause us to want to go to something like the Lothar-Walther barrel? Well, first and foremost, because what we do is we try stuff out and we see if it's an improvement so you guys know if it's worth trying out yourself. So that was the primary reason to try it out. And then secondly, I really was curious to see with the accuracy that we're getting out of the factory barrel if an aftermarket barrel would be an improvement, and if so, how much of an improvement. Now, I'm not quite ready to let the cat out of the bag on the Lothar-Walther barrel yet. It was very frustrating to get it installed. It took quite a bit of effort because Tikka likes to glue in their factory barrels. So we damaged some tools. We had to get out the torch. It was a huge pain to get that factory barrel out and get the Lothar-Walther barrel installed. So far, I only have one range trip on it. We haven't quite got to the point where it's fully fouled out and we've gone through different ammunition to see what ammunition it likes. Unfortunately, with 22s, that's one of those things. You may find out what ammunition one barrel likes or what the stock rifle likes. When you switch the barrel, you got to go through that all again, kind of like load workup on a centerfire rifle to figure out what ammunition the aftermarket barrel works on. So we are working a little bit with that to see if the heavier weight barrel gives us any improvement or if just the Lothar-Walther chamber and barrel itself gives us any improvement. As you notice, I do have a suppressor on here. This barrel is threaded, so it went in fairly easily after we got the factory barrel out, but we'll talk about that in depth. But again, with the Tikka, it's difficult for me to tell you there's any necessity to replace the barrel in the T1X because the factory barrel does shoot very, very well, and because it is quite a bit of trouble to get it out. But if we look at a different rifle, like say the Ruger Precision Rimfire, Ruger Precision Rimfires have been all over the map. You may get one that shoots very, very well, and you may get one that doesn't shoot all that well and would benefit from an aftermarket barrel replacement. The problem is, because of the tolerance on that, you really won't know until after you get the rifle out and you take it out and actually shoot it. Now, once you take it out and actually shoot it, you can't very well take it back to the gun store and return it. I don't know a lot of stores that like to do that with guns. Maybe you have one locally that allows you to do that, and that is absolutely great. Returning it to Ruger, unless it is really shooting poorly, is probably not going to be an option either. What we expect out of a precision rifle and what many manufacturers accept from their quality control can very often be vastly different things. So in that nature, then purchasing a rifle that you thought could be very accurate, maybe you have a friend that has one that's very accurate, maybe your club has a couple of them that are very accurate, and then you get one that is not quite what you would accept, then replacing the barrel really becomes a viable option, and really a good option with something like the Ruger Precision Rimfire, because you have a very wide range of options there. Now, unfortunately, if you shoot NRL 22 competition, replacing the barrel does automatically kick you into open class, and I don't expect that to change anytime soon. So Rimfires, there are a couple of reasons to replace them, but the big reason is just because you want to. You may get a marginal increase or you may get a significant increase, but that is definitely going to be dependent upon the platform. Now, we do have a CZ457 in that we're going to shoot accuracy tests with the factory barrel, and we may go ahead and replace the barrel in that one as well, just to see what kind of improvement that we can get. But again, a lot of what we do is just to see, so we can let you guys know if there is going to be a vast improvement. And what I've seen so far with the trouble to get the T1X barrel out, it kind of swings that needle back a little bit more to really consider if you are getting adequate accuracy, or if you really want to try for that razor's edge accuracy. But a lot of that's going to be a personal choice and what you're using the rifle for as well. Now, if we go over and we look at the centerfire rifle world, things change considerably. So in the centerfire rifle world, very often, if you are buying a rifle with the intent to customize it for a certain purpose, very often you can get deals on barreled actions or on complete rifles that are not necessarily in the caliber or the barrel profile that you want. So say, for instance, I want to build up a 6 Creedmoor rifle, and I go to the local sporting goods store, and maybe they have a sale on Savage 110s or Savage 10s, or one of the models that I know will accept the 6 Creedmoor cartridge, but maybe it's in 243 with a slow twist barrel, or maybe it's in 308 with a narrow profile hunting barrel, and they've got it on sale, got it on closeout, whatever, and it's a really good price. Sometimes you can find them for cheaper than what you can get just a bare action for. It might be a good idea to go ahead and purchase that, and then replace the barrel with whatever profile barrel and whatever caliber you really want. That is a viable option there. But if we are talking about top-end rifles, say something like an Accuracy International AXMC, and you purchase that rifle with the barrel on it that you want, say it's a 6 Creedmoor or a 6.5 Creedmoor, that rifle, as soon as you buy it, as soon as you take it to the range and get it dialed in, at that point, it is as accurate as it will ever be, and that barrel is on the decline. Depending upon what caliber, how hard you drive the bullet, and how rapidly you fire, will depend on how quickly that barrel goes on the decline. So your very accurate rifle right out of the box may not be a super accurate rifle for long. My Accuracy International AE Mark II has a really, when it was first screwed on, extremely accurate. 243 barrel. It's a Krieger blank, relatively heavy profile, chambered by suppressed armament systems, and it was sold through Mile High Shooting. And that barrel has been an absolutely spectacular barrel. I'm actually surprised that it's hung on this long, but I expect the barrel, if it didn't go off in this last match, I expect it to start to really decline in the next couple of months. I haven't been shooting that rifle much over the last few years, but now I'm pretty much intent on getting rid of that barrel. So we're going to see how badly that barrel has degraded, and then it's time to replace it. Barrels on centerfire rifles are like tires on a car. They will degrade, and then you have to throw them out. So I don't know a lot of folks that will buy a centerfire rifle that is a great and accurate centerfire rifle and then immediately replace the barrel. Usually, if that is the case, then it was a caliber change, not necessarily just a barrel change. Most of us will run an accurate barrel out until it burns out and then swap it over to a new barrel. So that's a little bit of insight on those. I don't know if your question was a little bit facetious, but there are a lot of people out there that will swap out barrels when it's not necessarily needed, just because we can and just because we want to see where they go. So I want to thank Lothar-Walther for sending us out the barrel that we have on the T1X right now. They did send us out a 22 barrel and a 17 HM2 barrel, which I'm not quite sure what we're going to do with that yet. I've got a couple of boxes of ammo on the shelf. We do a lot of stuff with the NRL 22 competitions, and 17 HM2 is not legal for that. However, I know a lot of guys out there that really like to squirrel hunt with the 17 HM2. Some other small varmint hunting is also very popular with it. Apparently, I've heard that the 17 HMR can be a little bit hard on squirrels, whereas the 17 HM2 leaves them a little bit more intact. So that's just some secondhand information I got from a fairly trusted source. So we may go ahead and see what the 17 HM2 does as far as accuracy. And I'm kind of curious to see stretching the legs on a on a Rimfire in a 22 LR package. Just kind of want to see what it does. So thanks again to Lothar-Walther for sending that out. Again, thanks to Modular Driven Technologies, who does sponsor the show, and they did provide the ACC chassis that we have on this gun. That is going to wrap it up for this Mail Call Mondays. We are a little bit behind, but we are getting the Mail Call Mondays episodes out, so you should see a couple more in the next few days. And if you guys have any questions or comments over anything we've covered, leave it in the comments section down below or send it to us on Facebook or Twitter. If you like the video, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, get out and shoot.